all doing well and having a fantastic day so far. I am back on my YouTube channel. If you guys are new to my channel, then I'm gonna let you know that my channel is all about surviving life with positivity, getting through so many struggles, and of course I have to share just me being a mommy. Before I get into what I really want to talk about today, I want you guys to stop what you're doing and go ahead and go follow me on my Instagram account. I am constantly posting on my stories on there, and that way you guys can really stay up to date. I have the information for my social media posted below in the description, so go ahead and follow me now. And if you are a current subscriber, make sure your post notifications are on so you guys know when I'm posting. I am back to doing frequent posts, and so I really want you guys to know when I'm posting something, because I am trying my hardest to spread awareness of positivity and just getting through life, and I'm just really trying to make a change out there. And the community that we're building together is becoming so strong, and I want to continue that for all of us. Today I want to talk to you guys about anxiety. My channel is based around my story. If you haven't watch the video on my story, and go ahead and check that out. I come from kind of a troubled background, just a little bit, and I've managed to come out pretty much sane. I don't want to say I'm 100% mentally where I want to be, but I have come out on the higher end of the mental health scale, and I want to talk to you guys just about anxiety. So recently I met with a brand new person that I've never met before, and I was meeting them because I had the opportunity to just do some marketing work for them. I have my marketing degree, and long story short, I was just trying to help somebody with their business. And they wanted to really get to know me, and they were not shy, and they definitely wanted to know my personal background outside of education. And so I pretty much let them have it. I said, are you sure you really want to know? You know, is too much information going to be too much information to make you not really want to correspond with me? Because I fully understand that my story has the ability to just scare people off. It's just like, you know, people hear my story and they're just like, well, this girl's psycho maybe, or she's lying and she's making these things up. But that's just not the case. That's just my life, and that's what the plan is for me during my life. And I feel like my purpose here on life is to help other people get through the same or similar obstacles that I went through. Well, anywho, meeting up with this person, after hearing bits and pieces of my story, she looked at me and she responded, and she just like, you just must be so messed up. So messed up. And I kind of laughed, and I was like, you know what? Like, I guess a lot of people who would go through those things, they would be messed up mentally or just completely unstable, and we kind of laughed about it. And the fact is that I could have gone a completely other path in my life. I could have gone down the dangerous, the bad road in life, and I explained to her that I did not do that because instead of sulking in my negative environments, and instead of just believing, you know, this life is the life that I have to live because I'm placed in such bad environments, I learned from what those people did in my life, both good and bad, and I use them as influences for me. And I was a very observant child growing up. I was the shy child. I always sat back and I watched everything go on, and it was easy for me to tell what was good in life and what was bad, and what was supposed to be and what was not supposed to be. We all have the ideal life in our minds of what it should be, and for me, I just always felt like I deserved a better environment. I knew that I wasn't supposed to you know, be around alcoholic, a drug addict, live in a drug house. I wasn't supposed to be beaten and all these things. And so I use this as motivation to move ahead in my life. Probably thinking that, okay, you're totally fine, Nicole. You're on the path to having a better life. You're not an alcoholic, you don't do drugs. You're not in that environment anymore. So everything must be okay with you. And the fact of the matter is that I'm not so messed up as that person may have commented. I'm not screwed up as a person, but this is where anxiety comes in. I have struggled with anxiety the entire time going through what I did in my childhood to early adulthood to now. And the thing is that I didn't recognize anxiety when I was younger. And as I got worse and as my life started to level out and there was more positive things than good, then I started to really feel my anxiety come into play. So my anxiety occurs, I get it weekly, honestly. If I'm being very honest, it never really fully goes away. There's periods of times where it kind of takes a nap and then it just hits me. I'll be having a perfect day the day before and then the next day, I just don't want to do anything. And that's just the powerful influence of anxiety. It takes over my emotional state and my mindset, and I'm not able to properly function the way that I want to. And when I get anxiety, it's just like, I don't want to do anything. It's just, I'm either cooped up and I go into my little ball mentally, or I'm just on my hands and knees scrubbing the house and cleaning the house all day. To share with you all that I do have anxiety, because I know there's a lot of people out there probably thinking that, you know, that I'm okay and everything is just fine and it's so simple to go through so many traumatic events and just be fine. I don't want that perspective of me that, you know, the kind of, we'll just get over what happened to you, because that's not what I'm all about. That's not what my channel's all about. It's not what, you know, my book is going to be about. It's literally telling you how to get through these things. And it's like how to get through these things and then be like 80% normal and live 80% normal life, because I cannot tell you that, you know, my advice and everything is gonna get you to be 100%, you know, anxiety free, that you're not gonna have any repercussions from all the trauma that you've been through, because I'm not 100% okay yet. And I don't know if that's ever going to be a possibility, because I am such an intuitive person. I'm very in tune with my feelings, and I'm an emotional person, and I just have a giant heart. And I think because of that, I think harder as a person. And thinking harder as a person, it has its pros and cons, meaning I love deeply, which is a pro, and I care about so many things, and I deeply care about other people, even if it's a person that I do not know. I hurt for them when they're going through something. And then there's just the cons of not being able to just throw it in the back of my mind, or just completely erase it from my memory, because then I start to really deeply think about things. And that's when it's like I'm living this happy life now, then all this stuff from my past is being brought up in my mind, and that's when I'm like, you know, just like the anxiety feeling. For me, I feel like anxiety has such a bad rep. For people think people who have anxiety, you know, they're soft, they're weak. People with anxiety, they're mentally unstable. People with anxiety, just they're not healthy and something's wrong with them. And to me, I am learning that my anxiety is a good thing, even though it leaves me very uncomfortable and everything. It's simply a reminder that I have to work on my shit. And I'm telling you that because anxiety, it means that you've gone through something traumatic and you've crumpled that experience up into a tiny little ball, and then you put it somewhere in your consciousness, way back in there. And every once in a while, it's like a ball of paper that you throw out into the wind, and then the wind slowly carries it back. And that's how I'm thinking of it. Even anxiety can be seen as something positive, because that means every time you get some anxiety, that means that's another part of yourself that you need to work on. Saying that it's confusing because when you get anxiety, and I've personally felt this way, I'm like, what the hell is going on? What's bothering me right now? Nothing happened in the last couple days. Like, this is just so random. It just happened to me. But at the same time, it's not something that just happened to you. This anxiety is stemming from someplace way far back. And it's stemming from a place that you just simply have not dealt with yet. And it's always the place that nobody wants to talk about. Nobody ever talks about trauma. And this is why I got so much crap when I started my YouTube channel and everything, because people didn't want to hear my story. People did not want to hear that another person went through certain things. People didn't want to hear about negative things in life. And for me, I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to put my story out there because I want somebody else that went through something similar to hop on my channel and be like, oh shit, I'm not the only person that this has happened to. And I'm hoping that people that hear my story, they don't feel so isolated and backed into a corner, and they don't feel alone going through life, because I have gone through a crap ton of stuff. Y'all know this, and y'all will know even more when my book comes out, but you guys know that I've gone through so much crap that I should probably be locked up somewhere, whether that be in a jail cell because I made terrible decisions in my life, or a mental institute or something like that. But I'm not. I mean, my husband may argue that I'm a little crazy, but no, just kidding. The fact of the matter is that I'm a work in progress, and I have anxiety, and I'm using anxiety as a tool to better myself, if that makes sense. As I said, anxiety is not going to be something that I think about negatively. I'm gonna think about it as, oh, okay, here's my reminder that I need to go and I need to work on myself mentally, backtrack, you know, all my life experiences, and see which experience basically triggers me and makes me emotional. And then I'm gonna think about that experience, and then I'm going to think about what I learned from that experience, whether or not it was something, a position where I put myself in, or like 90% of my stories and life experiences, it was something that just happened to me for no reason and I did not deserve it. But I'm gonna think about that, and then think about where I currently am, and just be grateful for changing so much in my life and appreciating, you know, some of those trauma experiences, because it's led me to where I am today. Anxiety does come in many different forms, whether it's again somebody that's just quiet and they want to be alone. Anxiety can be seen through somebody that's very irritable, and you know, some days like I have all these thoughts in my head and I'm bottled up, and then it's like I have no patience for stuff, and then it's almost like I snap when my husband talks to me and it's for no apparent reason, or I just want to lay in bed, or I just want to clean all day. There's just all these forms of anxiety, and it can lead to just uncontrollable crying. It can lead to just all these different habits that aren't healthy for your current life. This anxiety is stemmed from the past, or something that has happened traumatically, And you don't want to carry the past into the future, into the present, because you can't be your best self. You just simply cannot be the best version of yourself if you're holding on to your past. The moral of my story and the video and the message I'm trying to put out there is that a lot more people have anxiety than you're probably aware of, and it's just something you should not be ashamed of. When you get that feeling of just being just so anxious and you're unable to go outside, you cancel your plans with your friends and your family, you just don't want to do anything, don't think of it as a negative thing. It's your body telling you to back up, stop what you're doing, and work on yourself. Think about the things that trigger you the most, and absolutely, I know it can be 100% difficult, but this is why I'm trying to create the community that I am on my channel, because I want us all to be there for each other. If you have a problem talking about things, just know that you are not the only one, and you don't even have to, I suggest you don't even have to talk about your issues with anyone. You can talk about them with yourself. You can write them out in a journal. You can do affirmations at night. You can just think about these things yourself. It's important to be kind to yourself, regardless of if you have anxiety and you're being isolated. It's not fair to put yourself down because you're going through those things. Those are very difficult things, and you should pride yourself for being so strong, for just being able to handle that anxiety and that anxious feeling, because that's a hard thing to go through. And we know just in our society and everything that not everybody makes it to the point of getting past these anxious feelings, unfortunately. And so I'm hoping that this video just kind of helps anybody out there with their mindset towards, you know, having anxiety and just feeling like they're the only ones that have it. And so it's a reminder that when you get anxious, please, please, please think positive and reach out to anybody. Message me, find me on my social media, message me. You have anxiety, you're going through something, you don't know who to talk to, I'm here. I've gone through a buttload of crap. And that sounds nasty, but it's true. I've gone through a lot, and I will be there responding to all of your messages if you just want to vent. And don't think that what you're going through or what you've been through isn't big enough or isn't important enough to speak about, because it's not my position to judge what gives you anxiety. It's not my position to judge what you've been through. All I want to be as a person is somebody that listens and helps other people. Hopefully this video gave you guys some different perspective when it comes to anxiety, and if you guys would like me to make another video talking about how I handle my anxiety and some of the tips I do to get through my anxiety, then please like this video and share it for love. And I hope to hear from all of you guys soon, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Just remember, we are all warriors in this life, and we're gonna get through it together. Bye.
All my life was a fight. Tell me what's wrong when nothing's ever been right. I was abandoned, alone in the night. There was no darkness cause I'd never seen light. Put the past behind me, if I do fall, I'm gonna get up, defy these odds. I won't give up cause I'm too strong. I said I won't give up cause I'm too strong. Nah.